back to episode 2 of Wedding Chimes with Val.
Yeah! Oh my God, I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm already intrigued after the first episode. And if you guys haven't seen it, you have to go back.
You must see the first episode.
I still like Hey Chimers.
I feel like episoding.
That's gonna stick. Hey
Yes,
Chimers.
Hey Chimers. We
Chimers.
found it. Hey Chimers.
Welcome to Wedding Chimes with Val.
We have the chime mastership in the background.
Whoa. No, I just chime in.
Yes, you do.
Haha. How's it going, everyone? How you doing?
That was really corny.
I had a really good time, by the way, on the first podcast. I really enjoyed
Same
it.
here.
Yes.
I like the vibe. It's fun.
It is a nice vibe.
And
Yeah,
those
for
candles
sure.
look really nice too.
They do. One smells a birthday cake.
Yes, that is true. That is
I just
birthday
want to
cake.
eat it. I just want to eat the candle.
Alrighty then.
You know? It looks syrupy on the top.
Wow.
It does, look.
It does. It actually does. From this
Angle,
it does
you know?
look syrupy.
Glossy and syrupy.
I was going to
Syrupy.
say
Not a matte finish. Glossy.
glossy.
Alrighty then. So,
Yay!
guys,
Episode 2.
where do we find Wedding Chimes with Val?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's
Everywhere.
it. Here, out there.
Subscribe,
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 That would be on
guys.
YouTube.
Yes, on
Yes.
YouTube.
And then you can follow us on.
Instagram.
Instagram.
What's our handle?
Wedding Chimes
It's
with
with
Val.
Val.
Is it not underscore or?
There are underscores.
Underscores.
Wedding underscore chimes underscore with underscore Val.
Yes.
There you go.
And Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook. That's the beer talking.
That's the that was drank. Some of us, yeah, it's like you came back from a wedding. So yes.
Hey.
Instagram.
If you
We
watched
just
the
said.
first episode, you know that I drank and I was hammered on the altar. So who says I'm not going to be hammered here?
Hammered on the production chair.
So what's our topic, ladies? What's-
Oh, Val,
It's a good one. Catering.
I love food.
You know what? I think as a producer, I'm going to have to say next time we do catering, we have to have the food on the table.
To get the caterer to bring it in.
That's right.
We have to next
It
time.
is. So our first episode was
Venues.
venues.
Yes.
Super important. Along with venues, just as important,
The food.
the food.
The food. That's
The
that
Jamanja.
is most important. One of the most
Yes.
important things when it does come to planning a wedding.
Yeah.
Because the food sets also the tone, right?
Yeah.
And depends on the type of wedding. Comes to catering, there's many different options for food. So you have cocktail style food. So let's say, example, you're doing a wedding and you say, I want a small wedding and I want to have like a cocktail style wedding. So you do a ceremony and just cocktail reception.
Okay.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
I haven't done many, but it is sort of gaining popularity. So you get married, do your ceremony, and then you just have like they serve food, the waiters, like on the platters. So that's one type. And then you have your classic sit-down meal. So that's like as many courses as you want. So you have
I love
1, 2 courses, 3 courses, 4, even 5, even 6 courses I've seen at weddings. So it really depends on what you're looking for. You know, your budget, again, very important. And what type of cuisine do you want? Do you want Italian? Do you want maybe a bit, whatever, Italian, the French, whatever cuisine is out there, more ethnic, catering. So you could pick whatever you want. The possibilities are endless.
Nice.
And
Some of the venues have some, like I know the Madison Group.
Yeah.
They're friends of mine, but I don't want to. I'm not going to talk about only them. There's a lot of good
there's
ones.
many good
But
ones for
I
sure.
mean, what he does for the food, it's ridiculous.
And it depends the style of food you want too, the different taste, the style, the presentation.
You know-
yeah,
Oh my God, we're on the same wavelength.
the
That's fun.
presentation is very
Yeah.
important
Have
too.
you done a wedding with the American style buffet? They call it.
I think so.
So basically, cocktails
Yes.
is more than just a regular
Oh,
meal.
yeah.
It's Italians especially.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's a
This
whole
is
like
horrible.
thing. It's
Like shish taouk,
Yeah.
risotto,
Yeah.
crab legs, lobster.
Oh, yeah.
This is part of the cocktail.
The cocktail hour, yeah. You have like the stations, yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends again what type of wedding you want to have. Like, what do you want it to be? And the food plays a big part. So like you're mentioning the stations, right?
Yeah.
You have shishawuk, you have the potatoes, you have the fish, the seafood, you name it, you have it all. And that's just the beginning.
Oh my God.
So just imagine what's to come,
Yeah.
you know? So it really depends on the style. And then you have the more traditional cocktail that is just a few canapes
Yeah.
for cocktail hour with the bar, you know,
Yeah.
or no bar, whatever your package you pick, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the catering, it's very important, I'd say, to book it. If your venue doesn't come with it, to book it right after the venue, because
Absolutely.
that's a big part too. Because the catering company, depending which one you work with, will come with. They could provide the tablecloths, the cutlery, the glassware, the bar, the drinks, the alcohol. So it
Oh.
depends which catering company. Some do, but some don't. Some just provide the food and the staff, but some provide other things too. It really depends which one you're working with and what are you willing to spend. That's another big thing too when it comes to food.
Yeah, and what you're
Yeah,
eating.
so
Yeah,
as
and
well.
and what
you're
you're
eating.
eating and what
Absolutely.
you want to pick, right? And when it comes to catering, it's important to try the food too.
Yes.
Very
I
important
agree.
because
I
because
agree.
some couples I worked with in the past, they didn't try the food.
No.
No, I don't know why, but
Why?
I don't know the
God.
reason, but all I told them was go call your caterer and like try the food before any
That's
any
terrible.
final payment. Yeah. I don't know why. Still to this day, it does baffle me. But food, you have to try because, you know, different palates, different flavors. Maybe you don't like a certain spice or a sauce. So it's very important to when you book a caterer, say, hey, when can I try the food? When do I try it?
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
and then what's nice, some venues, they provide like the experience on your wedding. So they'll do the setting,
nice.
like they'll
Good.
like, okay, sit here, like they'll have it all prepared, saying this is what you have on your wedding day. Do you like this? Do you prefer that? And
Oh,
you know,
nice.
oh yeah, some do, some don't, but it depends on where you're getting married, right?
Yeah. So also for the allergies, people
Yeah,
have
big
allergies.
thing. Yeah, like vegan. If you have dietary restrictions, you know, you have to let the catering company know, right? Like
Yeah.
prior to the wedding day, usually it's a month before, or
Okay.
you know, like the final count of who's what, and then sometimes at the tasting they say this is the vegan option. Would you like to taste it? Some say yes, some say no. But I say try it all because
yeah.
you want to make sure the food is the same across the board. So let's say if one of your guests is vegan or have an allergy and intolerance, it's good to say, hey, their food is just as good as ours. The
Yeah.
non-allergy or non-restriction food choice, right?
Also another thing that is not thought of. Some of the venues, their kitchens that they rent out to the
Yeah,
caterers.
it's true. Yeah,
Some have grills, some don't. Some it's
That's-
just a reheating kitchen.
that's important
and it's
too.
very
yeah.
important because if you're gonna hire you don't know, you're gonna say I want steak. You take steak and then you find out that there's no grill.
There's no.
Oh
they
my
have to
God,
rent the
yeah.
grill, and there's an additional
Right?
fee. Yeah.
Ouch.
And it depends on. It also depends on the caterer's like specialty. Let's
That's right,
say
yeah.
if their specialty is only barbecue food, well, they'll come with the grill. They'll come with what they need.
Yeah.
But if you ask, let's say the caterer that only does barbecue style food to make pasta, well, that's not really
Ouch.
what they do, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on what food do you want to be served at your wedding, and it's a big thing. Like let's say the barbecue caterer, well, they specialize barbecue, not pasta. So if you're like, well, I want both, they'll be like, yeah, we could do the barbecue part really well, but the pasta, well, ain't gonna be.
Get somebody else.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So you have to pick what do you want. That's important. Do you want the barbecue style food? Do you want the buffet style? You know, do you want your traditional like seated meal? You know, I had weddings where they didn't do the seated meal, but they only did the buffet. So people would serve themselves and go like sit down.
Okay.
So and that's okay too. It depends like
Yeah,
what you want.
what you
You know,
want.
it's all on what you want and what you know you'll enjoy. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be really hungry,
Yeah.
and you don't want to sit down with food. You're like, well, why did we pick this?
Well,
potatoes.
that's
Yeah,
the thing is
that's the big thing
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to catering.
there's a thing like you could take one company and just have the caterer do a
Yeah.
sit down meal
Yeah.
or a buffet.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
There's
what
so
I've
many
noticed,
options.
it's so specific that
Oh, yeah.
you can even just do. Let's say if you do a buffet,
Yeah.
you have a company set up like a table. You know, you have your tables and you have your
Yeah.
cutlery, and then you can just have 5 or 6 stations with
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys that just do pizzas.
Yeah.
So they
You-
bring their
you
own
could-
pizza
yeah.
oven and they do fresh pizza.
There's a few in Montreal. They have like a pizza truck. They come and they have
Oh
delivered.
my
yeah,
God,
there's
that is so
tons,
wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could have anything. So you could have your food, your pizza,
Yeah.
There's even a company I know like that does like gelato too. They
Oh,
come in
yeah.
the little Vespa and they have their own little thing.
I had granita in
Yeah.
the middle of mine.
Yeah.
There we go. So it's whatever you want, and like you just said, there's so many companies. You could pick 10 different ones for your wedding.
You can get a guy just coming to do, like we said, shish taouk.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
It's a specialty. Yeah.
One guy that just does risotto. Like if you go to like, I'm gonna use an example of Bottega. They do pizzas. And they have pizzaiolos that'll go and just provide you pizzas for 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
if that's what you want.
Beautiful.
Or there's like coffee stations, so you just want specific coffee. They just come set up with their coffee and that's it. So it's really what you want, and that's the thing with weddings. You could pick and choose what you want, and of course it depends on the venue, because some venues, going back to the first one, they have restrictions on certain vendors, saying like, that's another thing. Yeah. So some say we work with this vendor, but some say we don't because of, let's say, past experiences.
Yeah.
So it's always important to ask the venue manager, whoever you're signing the contract, saying, hey, if we work with this caterer, are they permitted to come work in your kitchen?
Oh, nice.
And then some venues they all do this. They say to the catering company to sign like a paper saying, we'll bring it back, like we'll keep it clean after, we'll clean up. So that's between the caterer and the venue, but again, that's between them two. But I'm just saying it's good to keep in mind to ask the caterer, saying, hey, did you ever work at the venue?
Okay.
And that's why it's important. Book the venue, then the caterer, because let's say if your caterer is like, yes, we worked there a million times, no problem.
Okay.
But let's say if the caterer is like, oh, we never worked there. Well, okay, you'd have to go check it out. How big's the kitchen? What do they have? Do they have a grill? Do they have a reheating station? What do they have, right? Because then that could increase the cost for you.
Absolutely.
At the end. So so catering is much more than just food. It's everything to do with catering. So it's really important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
To do that on purpose. To book the food. Did you ever go there? Ask questions to the caterer, saying, what cuisine do you provide? Do you have vegan options? Because some caterers might not have, let's say, vegan options. And I know some caterers, they only do vegan options. You see what I mean? So it depends on what you're looking for. Or not all vegan, but they specialize in vegan cuisine. So there we go. So it really depends on what you want, what you don't want, who are your guests. Let's say if your guests like a certain style food, you try to cater to them too, right? That's important.
I mean, and again, back to venues, there are venues that have in-house food.
Yeah.
And some of them is like, I don't want to say untouchable, but, caterers are amazing because they can work anywhere.
They're, pretty much.
But it's never their kitchen.
And it'll never be the same as if they're in their own
kitchen.
But I would think that's mostly in a hotel, right? That they would
depends.
have their own kitchen.
It
Do they allow caterers
That's the
in the
thing.
hotels?
Some hotels,
That's what I thought. Hotel venues.
most don't, but some have exceptions.
Really?
Oh.
But you have to pay a fee.
I think it's the Jewish, for a Jewish wedding, let's say.
The kosher.
The
because it
kosher.
has to be
That's
a
what I was gonna say. Let's say if you're getting married at a hotel and the kitchen is not kosher, then you have to bring. But that's the exception. That's or another specific,
allergies maybe.
Not really allergies. No, with allergies, the only thing you could do is tell the venue where you get married, saying, "Hey, these guests have allergies. What do you have for them?"
Okay.
And let's say if the allergy is so specific, like a specific allergy, really severe allergy for the guests. I even told some of the couples, tell the guests to bring their own food at that point, because you can't trust the venue if they want to.
Okay.
Like I never force, but I tell the couple like, hey, if they have a really bad allergy to, I don't know, peanuts, whatever it might be, just say, hey, I can't guarantee 100%. They'll try their best, but
my drummer, this is amazing because we're a big band, and my drummer is allergic to everything.
There we go.
So she is highly allergic, so she doesn't take a chance.
And that's sometimes the best thing. Yeah.
Well, it's good for us because we get an extra meal.
There we go. At the night,
no, I don't need. No, you need your dish. Somebody's gonna eat it.
Someone's gonna take it. Maybe not you, but someone.
Oh yes.
And that's the thing. So I always tell the couples, ask all these questions to the caterers before you sign, or saying, hey, when do we sample your food? I even had a couple once. They said they saw their caterer in action too at a venue, because the caterer sort of asked the client to come with permission of the venue, saying, hey, can we show them how we work?
Oh, very nice.
Most of them don't, but some have that option. So it really depends what you're looking for. Try the food. I'd say always try the food. Ask for options and ask what else do they include. Because remember, caterers might know some bakeries for cakes, desserts. So sometimes, since it's in their similar industry, they might say, hey, we know a bakery. There we go. And some caterers also provide the desserts too.
Oh, very
Not
nice.
always, but some say, hey, if you want desserts, we could get you the desserts included in the package,
Okay.
in the option. So it depends. Or most of the time, my clients, that I had, they bring their own dessert table, either from the venue or their own bakery.
Yeah.
So there we go. So depends. It all depends on what you're really looking for in the caterer, but always ask your questions.
And you know what's
That's
funny?
the key thing.
What I noticed
Yeah.
is that as much as you don't think because it's food, but there's fads that go on. Like there's
Trends.
there's
A lot of
trends that
trends,
happen.
yeah.
Is the beef or whatever.
So
There's a
and-
lot of trends
Yeah.
or like even the presentation too, how it looks.
Of course,
right?
of
Like the
course.
style, maybe a few years ago, the style was different, but now it's like, well, we have to put the sauce on top, the potatoes like that.
But the trends, you know what I find is that
Very
because you
true.
don't know as a couple, you're like, it's my special day. I want to make it
oh
special.
yeah.
So now, if you're in the 30s, which is a good age that everybody gets married, you're gonna go to 5, 6, 7 weddings.
Yeah.
More depending
More or less,
on,
depending.
because
If you
everyone's
haven't-
getting married.
Everyone's getting married.
That
so,
you know.
Yeah,
So what
exactly.
happens is and that's the thing is, the halls are gonna push the trend.
Of course.
Because they're used to it. They do it every week.
it's easier.
normal for them. Instead of
And the
pushing
caterers as well. They're just
Yeah.
gonna do what's easier and what's trending. And
what people want.
there's
Yeah.
more of that meat. So the more it's bought, the less it comes for them.
Yeah.
They're making more money on it.
There we go.
But now, as a person, you're getting married, and you don't know. You pick. Oh my God, I'm gonna have braised beef.
the special,
Yeah.
But
the
then-
in
yeah.
thing to pick.
But then you go to 3 weddings that
They
you
all
know,
have
all
the
have
same
braised
And they all have the same fucking
braised
braised beef.
So that's when you say, well, now I'm going to do the chicken, now I'm going to do the salmon.
or
whatever,
you're gonna go with whatever you could
That's
find.
it. The
I
veal
had
porchata.
I had that
Anything, yeah.
chop. I had that chop. You know that big pork? It's like a pork chop, but huge.
Okay.
With the bone.
Huh.
I think I had it like 30 weddings with
Oh,
me.
yeah, for
like
sure.
I had it at least 30 times.
You
Yeah.
have like 3 hogs.
But it's crazy because
And
it's
what I
like-
noticed too about trends is when it comes to like the vegan option,
Yeah.
it's always cauliflower
Yeah.
or like mushroom, which tastes amazing. Sometimes they pick that too, it tastes great. But I know it's always like the portobello mushroom stuffed
Yes.
with risotto, like with like the sauce on top, or the grilled cauliflower is really good. Like it's good. It's
Grilled
just,
cauliflower.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the meat. The
it's
braised
good.
beef. Braised
or
beef.
the beef, yep, or the
Well, that's-
chicken, yep,
See, that's also like, so if you go for a steak,
yeah.
a steak is delicious.
Oh yes, if
But-
done right, yes, it's really
But
good.
that's the thing. If done right.
If done
So
right.
you're crossing your fingers.
that is done right and not
Because if they're like too busy in the juice and they keep it
Yeah.
on the grill 2 minutes too long,
it could, yeah, and you'll have a dry.
whereas a braised beef, if it's too long, oh well, it
Well,
doesn't
it
matter.
tastes
It's
Yeah,
better.
it's still
It tastes
good
better.
at that point.
It's always good. You're guaranteed. You have that braised beef.
Yeah.
You put it in the morning. You take it out. It's ready to go.
And that's
I
the
could
thing.
just taste it.
And I
So-
know, yeah, and I know some couples, they ask the caterer, and I tell them, ask all your questions. How long do you usually make barbecue your steak for? They ask those specific questions to make sure that they have a more accurate description of
Yeah.
their wedding day.
Yeah.
It's like, they try. I mean, they try to ask, but even the caterer's like, well, I don't know, depends who's cooking. It might not be them exactly. It might not be them on the grill, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause everyone's busy prepping the station, doing this, doing that.
I've been
food.
in a kitchen.
Yeah.
I've been in a kitchen when they have to serve
Oh
300
gosh,
guests.
it's
And it's a
ma-
fucking
madhouse.
madhouse.
I can
It's
imagine.
I remember once, it was at a wedding. I had to go in the back just to ask a question, just
Oh.
a small question. So I'm in the back and I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the head chef because the food wasn't done right. Anyway, so I had to go find the head chef. I'm looking like, what happened?
he
It's
worked
panda-
the
Pandemonium.
it's pandemonia.
Yeah.
And I just saw him in the corner. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
He's hiding. He's
I'm like, I saw him in the corner. I forget the company, but I just remember
Yeah.
he was in the corner, like a corner, just alone, just trying
Oh,
to.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
and
God.
because I just needed to ask the question, but when I saw him in the corner, I'm like, okay, bad timing. So
And that's the thing. If
they're-
you paid for filet mignon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's not even him. It just goes bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to say bad.
it just happens. Sometimes it's not
Fucking
even.
important. It's a piece of meat that costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, filet mignon. Yeah,
And all of a sudden, it's.
I
ruined.
remember speaking about catering companies. I remember some caterers, even though they've been at that venue 100 times, they always do a check, and that's important too, like a venue check prior to see the fridges with temperature.
Yeah.
So like,
Important.
like if it's not your kitchen, they always check the fridge or refrigerator, how like the temperature, to make sure whatever they put in there doesn't go
Rot.
raw.
Like it's another
Yeah.
question to ask. Also,
Yeah.
if you do like steak or a filet mignon,
If you want,
Well done.
yeah,
maybe
well
they might
done.
do.
Yeah.
No, but they might have a sous vide, which would be like, oh, okay, now it's
That's
not
a
going
good
to go
option,
bad.
yeah.
You're safe. So you say, no, I
It's
can
a
pay
safer
for it.
option, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for cater. When you go talk, ask them all these questions. Do you do a venue check like prior?
Yeah.
Like, what are your best options? Like, what cuts of meat do you carry? Because some might not all
Yeah.
carry the same cuts. So let's say if you're a steak person, like I really want a good steak for my wedding. Make sure you go to the right type of caterer for steak.
Exactly,
yeah.
Known for steak. Yeah, you might pay a little bit more, but if you really want a good steak that you know is gonna be 100% guaranteed, that's gonna be amazing, you might want to go to a specific,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Or if
caterer for
pasta
that.
is more important,
Or if
then-
you rather
Yeah.
a good pasta, homemade pasta with homemade sauce, well,
Yeah.
you want to splurge on that. So it depends what you're looking for too, right?
Yeah, I agree. I went to a wedding where there was roast beef, and the roast beef was floating in blood. Floating.
I like it.
I mean, I like it bloody. Okay,
Okay,
I like
yeah.
it bloody. I like
Okay.
it. Like if I will go to a wedding, I'll have a steak.
I like
need,
it a bit more, just a
I
little
love
bit
it.
more.
I need it. I need it medium rare.
Okay.
And bloody. Like I can't have it well done.
I
It's
like
like eating my shoe
see,
sole.
I like well done.
Yeah.
You like well done? You
Yeah,
like
I know.
hockey pucks?
yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
I always like well done. So if I see a little pink, I'm like, okay.
Really?
I'll
God.
cut around it like.
I
Really?
love it's for
That's
me.
so
It's
bad.
medium rare.
I'm so bad.
That's-
At weddings, I'm the worst. I'm the worst at weddings.
But are you a meat eater? Like, do you like?
Yeah, I'd like a good steak.
You like even though
yeah.
it's well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just can't get past
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
get past
I
that.
love well.
It has
Yeah.
to be medium
At
rare, I need red.
At one wedding I did, I was
So
starving.
you like the spices? You like basically?
Yeah, it has to be well seasoned. Obviously, the sauce has to be good.
A
You
good-
know,
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you need sauce for
Yeah,
well
I
done.
need a lot. I remember one wedding I did. I was starving. Okay, like I was so hot. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a good piece of steak. You know, I was so starving.
Yeah.
I get the steak. Obviously, it was a bit pink. I'm like, okay, I could live with that. It's doable.
So good.
You know, I was starving, so I ate it. I didn't even complain. I'm like, I was so hungry.
so
I ate the
amazing.
steak like no problem. Only one time I did that because I was hungry.
I could eat it red.
I
My
can't.
aunt
I
used to
enjoy
like-
it.
My aunt.
I
used to
wouldn't
love
be
blue.
able to. I wouldn't.
No, it's the best.
I wouldn't be able
It's
to.
so tender. It's so luscious.
I'm good.
There's
I'm
actually
good with my-
juice in it.
My aunt eats it blue.
I-
like you
I-
just slap it on, dang, dang, and then it
There-
goes.
Hey, there we go. But
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, that's a bit too.
I don't know. I don't know
Dracula.
if but back to the catering, yes, very important
Yeah.
for that reason to check what your preferences are and realistically what other things can they offer, like I said, the table, like not tables, but like the tablecloths, you know,
Yeah.
cutlery. They might not have what's trending, but they'll have the basics most of the time.
Okay.
So that's
Can we name some venues? Are we okay? Like, I think we're okay to do that.
yeah, I don't see why not.
You know,
Or
I mean,
even caterers.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because there's tons of them, and I
There's
don't
a
want
lot.
to miss any. and
Right,
can't-
there's a lot to to name.
I can say that I think we were speaking about it before. The Mount Stephen Club
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is a beautiful place.
I heard really good things.
The food is, I have to say, like I had the best mushroom soup there
That
ever.
sounds good. I love mushrooms.
Cream of mushroom. I was like,
You can't go
fucking, I
wrong.
wanted a whole loaf of bread. And that's the first dish.
That's another thing too I was gonna say about the catering. I always judge the caterer on the bread.
Nice.
If they could do the bread well
Yeah.
and nicely toasted, not too hot,
It's
just
nice and
just
warm.
lightly toasted, in a little basket with the little napkin, I'm set. Like I know this is like good. But that's what
$3 and she's in. $3 loaf of bread and she's good.
and I remember one wedding, I forgot where it was. I forget which wedding it was, but I'll never forget the bread. So they, instead of the little, you know, like the little
Yeah, the
breads,
little buns.
they're still good though, if done right, toasted
dinner
right.
roll,
yeah.
yeah.
But they had slices of bread, like the slices with like the thick crust and everything, like nicely heated. I'm like, hey, I'm so like, I'm ready.
Nice.
I'm set.
You know that if they take the time to have 3 or 4 different breads,
Yeah.
you
That's
know
nice.
that like they care.
They care.
exactly.
All the
And
bread
also,
and then-
too, what I notice is how frequent do they pass around to refill the bread.
Oh yes, very
Yeah.
important.
And that's
I love it.
important too. Like it's always the little things with the catering or any venue.
That's
with
because
the
we
catering.
do way too many weddings.
So like for me, like because the vendors table, obviously the best table there, where everything, all the fun stuff happen, is how often they refill ours.
Yeah.
And then I know, okay, it's good. If I have to go up when I'm going to see, let's say, the bride and groom to remind them, okay, sorry, you lost me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they care enough to be like, hey, let's feed the vendors. We're human too. We have feelings. You know, like then I'm good.
Most venues and
Then
so
I'm okay.
as a vendor, it's a whole different ball game.
Oh yes, it's
So at a hotel, you're in another room.
yeah.
You are not eating what the guest is eating.
No, you actually twice it happened to me that the bride and groom wanted me to be in the same room as them
Okay.
because they wanted me to be close by.
So lucky you,
I
'cause the
was,
band and everything.
I was lucky. I was treated like a queen. I'm not kidding you.
That's fun.
They put me with some of their friends, right, like around my age group, so I wouldn't feel left out.
Yeah.
So I made new friends. I had great food. I'm like,
That's
Oh,
fun.
that's awesome.
and then I go see the other vendors, and I felt bad for them, but
Yeah.
I'm like, So I go check them. I always try to make sure everyone's okay because we're all working together, right? And I'm like, you guys are good. Like,
Yeah,
we're-
we got our chicken.
I'm like,
with
you're
the
good.
potatoes.
I'm like, you're good,
Three
you're good.
asparagus.
And then the worst part is I have a group chat with them, like with the vendors. I always have like a little group
Yeah.
chat going to make sure. I'm like, I text them like, you guys got your food yet? They're like, no. I'm like, and here I got my food. I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
okay. So I always make sure. Different point. I always make sure that if I'm in a different room, I always make sure everyone's okay. Because then I feel bad, and I want to make sure everyone's okay. And like we're
It's
all.
so different.
It's
eh?
a whole
like,
ball
and,
game,
and I
yeah.
can tell you which hotel. Like I was at Chateau Champlain a little while ago. So they put up a buffet for the vendors. So
Oh, that's so sweet.
at least, and you know what,
That's
they had
really
like,
nice,
and they had different
actually.
food. So it wasn't. They had like Jamaican chicken.
Ooh, okay.
They had a nice salmon fish, a salmon. They
I'm
had
not a fish person, but okay.
arrabbiata pasta. So
You
at
had-
least it's a little different.
You had options.
Yeah,
which is
because
good,
most
yeah.
of the time they had a little salad bar and a dessert bar.
Huh.
Yeah, and then
That's really
because
nice,
most
yeah.
hotels are giving you, I can fucking tell you the dish. It's that quarter chicken
He's
with a
so
little
good.
sauce, 2 potatoes.
He's not bitter. He's not bitter.
He's
at all.
not bitter.
Yeah.
No,
Not
no,
bitter at
no
all.
And the string
bitterness
beans.
there.
There's 2 fucking string
No,
beans or
but even
asparagus.
worse, or one carrot that's like done.
One carrot.
like
That
this.
one
Yeah.
burnt carrot.
Not
one.
sliced, it's
no,
round.
it's one burnt.
Yeah.
The
Burnt.
baby carrot.
No, not even. It's like that long one that's
Yeah.
burnt. Like
Yeah.
it was on too long.
That's
That's
The edge, the
Yeah,
end is all
all
like
the time.
crinkled.
and I'll remember. I'm gonna have to say this story because it's funny.
Uh-oh.
This is a humongous venue.
Okay.
That had the best food I've seen.
Scene.
So we're setting
That
up.
tasted though.
No, it looked fucking good.
Okay.
We're setting up and we see there's like a bunch of stations.
So
fresh
whatever you-
hamburgers. So
Whatever
we're like,
you wanted, basically.
this is gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah,
right?
you're
We're
waiting.
salivating.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Cocktails start, we go,
Yeah.
and the fucking canapes are beautiful. They gave out like a cone, and the cone was a
smart.
salami cone
Ooh.
with olives, cheese,
Hmm.
and different things in the salami cone. Like it
That's
was,
smart.
Nice.
and then they had like lamb chops.
That
and-
sounds good.
So we take,
actually.
we had a bite,
Uh-huh.
our second bite, and then one of the planners comes up to us and says,
One of the planners.
and says, "Oh, you guys have your own meal on the other side." We're like, "Oh, okay." We
Okay.
thought because it was an open.
Open
Yeah.
to everyone.
Remember, there's 1,000 guests at this party. 1,000.
Oh, oh my god.
So we said, "Oh, okay." So we go on the other side,
Uh-oh.
and we had a white lunch.
Jesus
Stop.
Christ.
I swear to God. But the kicker, this fucking shitty white lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, and like couscous and fucking piece of, I don't know. It was
Whatever was
not
in
good.
there. Yeah.
The killer part is that we eat this thing and then we go perform.
Well, yeah.
On our break, the meal was over, and there was garbage bins. I swear to God, I saw about 40 hamburgers being thrown.
Well, yeah.
Like, trays of food being dumped.
That's not right.
I was like, holy shit. And you couldn't even just say,
Yeah.
hey guys, want a hamburger? It's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
They threw everything.
I know. Speaking
But-
about,
Oh,
like, I remember once, I'll
brutal.
never forget, the story is different than your ending story, but one wedding I did, I think it was with G Catering, I think. That was the
Okay.
one I
He's our guy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
the
he's our
best.
guy. I remember with him, I'll never forget the first wedding I ever planned. Well, I planned with him. Well, you know, he catered. I remember he had so many sweets in the back. He literally prepared me like a plate
Yeah.
Oh,
to
nice.
take home.
Yeah. Oh, look
And I'm
at
like,
that.
nice. Like, literally, like, nothing went. Like, he made sure everyone got something at the end, which is really
Well,
sweet.
that's a lot of work they're doing
Yeah,
too. I mean,
that's a
of
lot.
money
Yeah,
that people
and
are
I
putting
feel
in.
that vendor like bond is like super important too.
There's two different outlooks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the owners, they're all nice people.
Yeah.
But it's a business.
Right.
Yeah.
So their mentality is vendors are vendors. I don't have to impress them. They're not my client.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong.
Right. They're not wrong.
Others are, if I impress the vendors,
Word of mouth and
Yeah.
everyone
we're the
talks.
mouths that talk
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
And so when I say the Mount Stevens Club, it's because I was impressed.
Yeah, and that's
So-
all it takes. For me, like, it's the bread. That for me, I'm sold on the bread. Like, like I said, it's always the small things.
Yeah.
For me, like, I look at, well, by default, I look at everything, how everything looks, the food,
Yeah.
the kitchen, you know. But for me, it's always the bread. If I know the bread's good, and they come around, they give us the bread
I love it.
and water or whatever we want.
Yeah.
We're okay, you know. And to
Yeah.
me, that means a lot for a catering company to
Absolutely.
just take the time to care about. Because at the end of the day, like you just said, we're potential clients too. We have clients
Yeah.
you might know
Yes,
or word of
absolutely.
mouth, and that was makes the difference, right?
But it is
So-
costly.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
it's also we have to like I'm complaining about the boita lunch, but that meal that they
Not bitter
had,
at all.
I know that meal that they had was
Yeah.
1,000 guests and under $350 a plate they did not pay.
But I don't understand why they wouldn't allow you to even
That's
have
yeah.
Well, because
with all
because
that food.
because
And it went
there's
to waste.
vendors. We're 40 vendors.
yeah,
Right?
it's a
There-
big yeah.
There's dancers, there's the band, there's the DJ. There was like 3 DJs.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
for sure.
cocktail band. There's the photographers. There's like 3
God.
photographers,
Yeah,
3 video guys.
Yeah,
So
it adds up.
I
So, like,
understand.
yeah.
I understand. I don't understand the like a boita lunch. Like
That's terrible. That's
Yeah.
like insulting, really.
That is.
take one of the hamburgers and put it there. Those hamburgers
Yeah.
were luscious.
Or just
man.
make a plate, put all the food for you
Yeah.
guys, like spread out on the
Yeah.
like a buffet, something.
make a
and
buffet. I don't know. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be expensive.
yeah,
Right.
just something to say, hey, we care about
But-
you.
But again,
Yeah.
they catered. Those 1,000 guests went home super happy,
Oh yeah.
and so
You went to McDonald's.
and I went to fucking Harvey's.
I remember once at a wedding, I forgot. I'm not saying the name of the
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
okay? But the place, like, basically was like a serve yourself station, which was fine, nothing. But the food quantity per guest, like, wasn't a lot, right? So I felt bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna take the food, like, I felt bad
Oh,
for
wow,
because
that's
like
bad.
it was not enough per guest. Like if they felt yeah.
I
So-
would kill someone.
So
that's
so with
horrible.
myself and the other vendors, because we all saw that we're like, we're not paying, like we're paid, but like we're not
Yeah,
guests, right?
yeah.
And so we all gathered up. We're like, okay, let's Uber eat something to the venue.
yeah.
Yeah, so we Ubered McDonald's. It was the closest there, so we got the Uber come and we ate on the side, like
Yeah.
But that was one way, and I'm like, oof, if I have to order McDonald's and I'm, yeah, it's
That's
yeah,
harsh, that's
yeah.
harsh.
So the per plate it wasn't enough and I looked at the guests versus the food, and I'm like, that's not gonna.
That's not gonna
How can they
last.
make such a mistake?
Because what happened at our wedding was like the venue said, well, this is the most we ever get type of thing. It was that
Okay.
type. And they're like, based on the guests, like this is how much food you'll get type of thing, like portion wise. But myself and the bride clearly stated that's not enough. So we told them like, get more. And they're like, well, no, this is how much we usually serve. Yeah, the venue, which I'm not naming the name of. So basically, yeah,
ouch.
so that's another thing to always keep in mind is like if your venue is saying no to more food, you should not.
Yeah.
But-
to me,
but-
it's like I would try to at least sell it.
Yeah,
right? It's
but-
business.
That's what you sell.
But that's the thing. They're very against giving more food this venue.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they were very like
Wrong venue.
And,
don't know
and
about
the
you.
thing was, this couple booked a while back, so they couldn't really do much. They were like sort of
Oh my
locked
God.
in. So, Yeah, so
That
that's
wouldn't
what.
go well for
yeah,
Italians.
yeah. I was gonna.
Which we're gonna talk about because after the camera shuts off, you're gonna tell me this
Yeah,
menu.
yeah.
I'm never going there.
Oh,
Yeah, so basically, and again, it was not a bad place, but just that was really, and I felt bad for the guests. Like they came all that way, and they're like, like,
Oh, poor thing.
that's
But
it.
also, I mean, I'm because I've done so many weddings.
Mm-hmm.
I've done weddings where like it was literally a méchoui,
Yeah,
and I've done weddings where it was like just hors d'oeuvres,
Yeah.
canapes all night.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That's
all
the
night.
thing too. Yeah,
That's the thing. It's
yeah.
just they just pass
or
canapes
or
all
some
night.
I know some I haven't done weddings like this, but I've seen on like Instagram and everything. It's just like a cocktail hour thing, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
they have it, they do their ceremony, they have a little
Cocktail and get out.
and basically
And then I've done weddings where the midnight table is bigger than
the
the
meal.
wedding I did
Yeah.
last week.
yeah,
right?
it's
so
true. Yeah, it's so it
you-
depends what you want.
It depends what you is food and like because I don't want to. It's not a racial thing. It's some cultures eat more than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
the
Very true,
francophone
yeah.
culture, the Quebecois, they just don't eat as much, and
They
and
portion.
Italians-
portion.
Yeah.
Italians eat way too much.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
that's
overdo it. That's
So
what
it's like
exactly.
you don't know what to expect. I
Yeah.
a Quebecois will go there and have a smoked meat and be super happy.
yeah, and that's
full.
good. Smoked meats is good.
Oh my god, it's
Good.
amazing.
You can't
Very
go wrong.
Like I look forward to it because I'm so used to, I'm so used to the
it
fucking
depends.
braised beef that
the braised beef
that-
or
like-
the lunchbox there.
a lunchbox. Now that was one venue.
Yeah.
And it's one of the top venues.
Oh my God.
So the richer the venue, the less the vendors eat. Like, this is I won't say all of them.
It depends.
It depends, but
Depends.
generally,
Yeah.
it's the middle ones that treat you like the best.
It's the sweet spot's like okay,
Yeah.
which one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few venues too that the food was amazing.
Yeah.
The one that I was like part of the,
Uh-huh.
what like the guest table. I'm like
Yeah.
bon
Yeah.
appetit.
Yay.
It was a whole like other experience. Now, like of course I was working, but it was nice to be around like people, not just talking about what's happening next. So that was
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
sounds amazing.
something.
So Val,
Yes.
Yeah.
we did our topic.
Yes.
And catering was
Yes.
food, very big topic, very important.
Very
of course,
very important.
leave your comments on Facebook, Instagram,
Probably
whatever.
have a lot on this
YouTube.
one too.
Yeah, if you have questions, if you need help with vendors, you need help with whatever, what type of food. If you picked a place and you want to know, I've probably
good,
eaten
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Val might have,
Yeah.
Lisa, we
It's
may have
true.
eaten there. So
For sure.
we can definitely give you our feedback on that. But now it's time for Val's first dance.
There's the jingle. I hope there's a jingle. It's over
I
here.
don't know. We don't know. We'll
Then
see.
there will be a jingle.
Yes. So for this episode is Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Ooh, a Swiftie song.
Yes. Yes.
Oh boy, that's half of the planet.
I was gonna say that's
Or
why.
3/4.
I
So
mean,
can you say a little lyric that's in that song?
God, you're turning us
You
right
don't, have
at the
to,
top.
you don't have to sing it. Just say it. I was gonna sing it, but I don't know the song. So
it,
like,
I know it's like it's a love story, and baby, just say yes. I think.
oh, cool.
It's
Good.
that-
So
So
I
she's
think-
not telling off one of her ex-boyfriends.
No.
Awesome.
I think it's that one.
This is a
'cause
happy one.
I know there's a lot of Taylor Swift songs, so I believe it's the right one. I
Yeah.
believe it's the right. So like I said, that's why I never heard that song actually.
Okay.
Not yet, but maybe this year.
So
we
Taylor
might.
Swift is a close second to Enrique Iglesias, who was your last week's.
He's
Yes,
a
that
hero.
was fun. The
Yeah.
concert
he is a hero.
was fun.
Yeah,
That was worth.
that's gold.
That.
So Taylor Swift. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, and that's
cool.
because I never heard it, so I figured since Taylor Swift is sort of like making a comeback with her
Yeah,
concert.
making
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So with her concert, I figured she might make a comeback for wedding songs,
Cool.
Nice.
or maybe like another version of the song, like but her song, but someone else singing it, or whatever.
Oh, nice.
That's my prediction.
Very
I
nice.
think I might hear more Taylor Swift this year.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe we'll see.
She's going to be swifting through the
Yeah,
venues.
I was gonna say just
Swiffer.
Yeah.
She's a Swiffer.
So now, Val, you're gonna do your thought of the day. Wait, and then Lisa, you're gonna do your thought on
You always
Val's
take
thought.
me off guard, Vanny.
No, listen to this.
No.
Val gives. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Val gives her thought of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you give your thought on her thought.
Ah.
Ah,
Okay.
I
you
like the birthday cake smell.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So Val, you look into that camera, and it's
Look at
Val's
it like
thought of,
you-
right there.
Yes.
That camera there.
Give
Look
it a
straight
big
into it,
kiss.
smile, and give us Val's thought of the day.
So, it's your day. You do what you want, and that's all I have to say. Because there's could be a lot going on, and just remember it's your day, and you make the final say. You do what you want at the end of the day.
And
Wait.
my thought to that thought, because Vanny wants me to put in a thought.
Yes.
It's all about mindset and what's important to you.
Yes.
And how you want your day to unfold.
Yes, that's very true.
There is nobody. I mean, there are always those people who offer advice.
And that's fine.
And that is
you
great.
take that advice, but don't let it cloud what your focus is and what.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you only get to do it once, right?
Exactly.
And-
Some people do it twice,
Well-
3 times, 4 times. Liz
Hey,
Taylor
hey,
did it
hey.
eight.
Hey.
Just
Let's
saying.
not hate the people that have done it twice, okay?
No, I'm saying Liz Taylor did it 8 times. Just saying,
But it's important just to keep, Lisa, that focus, the mindset that it's one day,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get to do it, and don't let take that advice. People have good advice.
Yeah.
Take it saying, hey, thanks for thinking about me. I really appreciate it. Because everyone else is excited too, right? For
Yeah.
your big day. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, look what's online, like ideas, or oh, do you think of doing this, or oh, are you doing that? Are you gonna play this song? Are you gonna do this?
Yeah.
Just quiet that noise and be like, what do I really want?
Exactly.
What's my focus? And don't let that
Cloud you.
cloud
Yeah,
cloud your
exactly.
judgment, because that's really important, because you get to do it. It's your big day. You've been waiting forever for it, a long time in some cases. So
Yeah.
take advantage. Just take the advice with a grain of salt, saying, hey, these people care about me enough to send me advice or to give me some pointers, because they probably got married before you,
Yep.
or they seen now with social media, you see everything like, oh my gosh, look at this entrance, are you gonna do it like that? Or oh, look at this song, or oh, look at this cake sculpture thingy,
Yeah, but in the end, you pay the bill.
Yeah,
They don't.
at the end, there you go. So,
Can I give my thought on your thought?
yes.
Okay, Val is being nice to say, tell your in-laws to go fuck themselves if you don't like what they're saying.
I said blue, not turquoise.
Right?
Or
you-
chartreuse.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny you're in that moment and your mother-in-law or your father-in-law comes, you're having dinner with the in-laws and they say something that's like 1942.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're going to have a whatever. Are
Yeah.
you going to have a singing telegram? And you're like, what?
A what?
No.
I remember speaking about in-laws. One of the weddings I did in the past, the mother-in-law hired her own florist
Oh my goodness.
without telling anyone, because she didn't like the flowers that the bride got, right?
Yeah.
Even though the bride paid and
Paid it,
everything.
yeah.
So the day of the wedding, I'm there, and I'm like, okay, why is there more flowers coming? And she didn't tell anyone. So then
God.
I go up to the florist. I'm like, you're not the florist.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we were told to come in. I'm like, yeah, but by who? Who told you? Maybe it's a wrong wedding, because it happens.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the mother-in-law. I'm like, of course, she did without telling anyone. And so we basically just put her flowers like at the cocktail tables.
Oh,
Luckily,
my
there
God,
weren't-
How insulting.
Luckily, there weren't enough, but I couldn't just,
Yeah,
throw
you
them
got
out.
to, well, it's paid for, so
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Was the bride angry?
She didn't know, because we
Hit it.
Hit it.
hit it.
It's better like
And now
that.
you know why you
wanna-
need why you need a wedding planner.
I just took care of it and just put them, and she didn't even know that they weren't hers. So I'm like,
You made everybody happy.
it worked.
Yeah.
It
It's
worked.
a special date for the bride also. You don't want to anger her.
Exactly.
on
So I'm
the
like,
first day with the life with this
It's
person,
like,
you know?
Hey, you
And-
said I do. She is now officially your mother-in-law,
There
and she
we go.
decided to override your flowers.
by the way,
Yeah.
not my place.
My God.
Yeah.
So, once again, we're already done.
I was gonna say it went by so fast.
I know it goes by quickly, eh?
It does. So, thank you for tuning in with Wedding Chimes with Val.
To all our chimers.
Yes, to all our chimers, thank you once again.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube. Don't forget to follow on the Facebook. Don't forget to follow
Instagram.
on the Instagram.
To like,
share, and
comment,
Yeah.
whatever. We're here for that
yes,
as well.
love us.
Yeah, and, or
Love
even
her,
give
actually.
us
You have to love Val because she's
Also,
gonna
give us-
save you on that day.
give us topics too. If
It's
there's
true, if
something
there's
you want, like if
something-
you're getting married and there's a topic that you just want to hear about because you're unsure, you can ask us directly.
For sure.
Or
For sure,
we can have
yeah.
a whole episode on that. Not a problem.
Be more than happy to shed some light.
Absolutely.
Yep, exactly, guys.
It's
So
always
don't be
fun.
shy.
Awesome.
Be a chimer.
Be a chimer. There
Be
you
a
go.
chimer.
Take care.
Bye.
Guys.